Hi, everyone. I'm Nima Ghamsari, CEO and co-founder of Blend, and I'm excited to be speaking with Ryan Atkins today to get his thoughts on innovation in financial services, what it means to have an end-to-end digital mortgage, and the future of the home buying journey. Ryan is a 16-year veteran of IBERIABANK. He's been director of mortgage production since 2017, and during that time, their mortgage volume has grown 61%, and they had record volume last year and the year before. He began his career as a loan officer and recently served as secondary marketing manager prior to his current role running the mortgage production. So you've been seeing the pandemic hit and it's been now a few months. What have you seen, I guess, from your customers first? Starting with your customers, what have you seen? Is there a shift in how they're working with you? Are there shifts in how they what they expect from you? And how are you thinking about your business as a result?
There's a sense of urgency with our customers these days, like they've never seen before. And I think it's probably due a little bit to just the uncertainty that's out there, with products changing, maybe their financial situation changing, and all those things kind of coming together. It's really pushed them to be aggressive in getting through the process as quickly as possible.
You've been in financial services for a long time. You've been at IBERIABANK for 16 years. What are some of the things that were true 16 years ago that are, still true today that you think, should have been changed or haven't, for whatever reason been changed? And it sounds like closing might be one of them. And I wonder how much you put on that from like the technology perspective versus the title companies and settlement agents you work with. And then what are some things that you've seen dramatically shift and things like verification being one example, but what are some other things you've seen shift during that time?
Wow. So, I think one thing that hasn't changed is the borrower's expectation for kind of a personal touch on the whole process. The difference today is that we don't, especially during this recent time, we're not meeting with anyone in person, and we no longer need to. And so over time, it's becoming a lot more convenient for borrowers, not having to take time out of their day, commute, all of those things that would eat up time. And so I think that's been good innovation, is that we no longer have to meet with anyone face to face unless the borrower chooses that. As far as things that I think still need to change, that's a little bit tougher. I think we really, nothing we do takes 30 days anymore, right? And let alone 30 minutes. And so, I think the parts of the process that take up the most amount of time, like the appraisal, waiting on an appraisal, I think we really could still do a lot of work in how we value property and how quickly we can return those results to cut out some of that time.
What's an idea you have there? I'm sure you've thought about it a lot.
Well, I think the GSEs are on the right track as far as the data that they're keeping and how frequently they need new data to stay current on what the values of those properties are. But I think, having an appraiser go out to a property to measure things and assess, the condition of a property and things like that, it's just probably unnecessary at this point on most transactions. And so the more we can get to this place where we're doing, automated valuations of property, I think the better off we'll be.
So it sounds like there's some changes around how your customers are now working with you. They don't want to meet in person, like you said. How do you see the bank reacting to the broader changes in environment that are coming?
Yeah, I think we react pretty quickly. And I think that the sooner everybody can realize that as soon as you think you have something figured out, you don't have it figured out anymore. And your willingness to accept that and react, I think the better off all of us are going to be.
I think when I talk to a lot of people, they talk about 2020 and 2021 being moving to digital closings and focusing on refinance, because I feel like that's not a foregone conclusion, but that's something that we know we need to pay attention to. What do you think about 2022 and beyond? What as you see the industry shift and you think 2 years out, what are some things that you're looking at and saying, I need to be ready for that in 2022 or 2023? And how much do you think about the purchase experience of the future once this big refinance boom passes, and what things are you trying to get ahead of now as you're figuring that out?
Sure. Purchase has really always been our forte. Even in large refinance years, we've maintained a percentage of purchase to refi mix that's usually kind of not, it's an anomaly compared to our peers, right? We're usually heavier on the purchase side of things because we know that's where the longevity is. We do take advantage of refinance periods like this to gain opportunity for future purchase market share, refinancing borrowers that are new to you or new to the bank. And we put a lot of effort into that customer data, making sure that we have everything we need to be able to continue to touch that borrower and market to that borrower for future transactions. But from beyond that, from a technology standpoint, I think, it goes back to what I was saying before with the necessity for a borrower to participate in validating documents for us, right? I think we need to get to this place where we can reach out and get that information without relying on the borrower to track things down. And I think that'll cut a huge amount of time out of the buying experience and really be a benefit.
And one thing you just mentioned, which I thought was good and maybe subtle, was you have a big customer base, and one thing you just posed is getting in front of them so that they're working with you, so that when the next time they have something they want to do, they remember that you all serve them very well. How do you think about that, maintaining that ongoing relationship and being the one they come to first, versus going online or going to their realtor or whatever it is? Like, how do you think about building that relationship with the customer?
Yeah, I think that you have to meet them where they are, and you have to touch them as often as they want to be reached out to. So you can't be overbearing about it, but you have to be front of mind. You have to make sure that you maintain that front of mind presence. There's also other ways that we can monitor those things in the industry. With making sure as our customer base list their home for sale, right? Or refinances on their current home. I mean, we can pick up that information and try to proactively reach out to that borrower on those occasions. And then I think you also have to have a presence out there wherever they're looking for a financial partner.
I want to end with a few hot takes from you about just a few different key things that are top of mind for me during this time. So just quick answers, whatever the first thing comes to mind for you on these things. Okay. Starting with, what does it mean to be agile?
I think it means that you need to be quick to respond and understand that you don't, like I mentioned before, have it all figured out. Be ready to change and not be stuck in whatever path you've chosen.
Yeah. I mean, that growth mindset, I couldn't agree more. It's just that ability to know that it can always be better, even if it's really good. And it's not an indictment of what we're doing today. It's just taking advantage of the fact that things are always evolving and we can be better. Second one, in what ways has IBERIABANK been resilient during this time when there's been a lot of competing forces and priorities? Our mantra through this whole thing has been business as usual. Things are not going to be normal outside of work. And so the more normalcy we can provide for our employees at work, we think the better that'll be. And they've gone far beyond the call of duty, actually become more efficient working from home and using the technology that we have available. And so it's been really, really inspiring to see that happen. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us on The Benchmark. It's been wonderful to have you. We're running out of time here, so we're going to end our show. For those of you watching, be sure to sign up for our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and see who's on the bench next time.